Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into something a little different. One of our listeners, you shared this incredible story with us, and it's all about, well, going with the flow. And I think it's safe to say it's got some really powerful insights for everyone
Oh,
listening.
absolutely, yeah.
So this story, it's quite the adventure. Waterfall hikes, spontaneous dips in hot springs. You even bumped into some fascinating people along the way. Really paints a picture, doesn't it? But what I found really interesting was how grateful and energized you felt afterwards. You actually said that trying to plan everything, to control it all, might have made you miss the whole experience.
Yeah, and that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? That human need for control. We crave it. But sometimes letting go a little, embracing the unexpected, that's where the real magic happens. And honestly, I think that's a big part of what makes us grow as people, too.
It's like choosing to be surprised by life.
Yeah.
I love that. And, it's not always about these big adventures, right? You share this other moment, and this one really stuck with me. You're in the hot springs, gazing up at the stars, and a friend suggests closing your eyes for a bit before looking up again. And when you do, the stars, they seem even more brilliant.
It's amazing, isn't it? That simple act, it just shows how powerful perspective can be. We often talk about going with the flow as a path to happiness. But that little experiment with the darkness making the light seem brighter, well, it shows us that those tougher times, those times that feel dark, they can actually make the good times feel even sweeter. And not just feel sweeter, but by going through those harder experiences, we learn to handle whatever life throws at us. We become more resilient.
We grow.
Yeah.
Just like you were saying earlier, I love that connection. And speaking of letting go, you even managed to work it into, well, a bit of a funny moment in your story. You actually apologized for missing your daily post because you were too busy being a woodland fairy.
I remember that. It brought a smile to my face when I read that.
Um,
Talk about a shifted perspective.
I guess.
Right. And I think it reminds us that it's okay to prioritize ourselves, to allow ourselves those moments of joy and playfulness, even if it means shaking up our routines a little. It's
Yeah.
easy to get so focused on, productivity, on checking things off our to-do list that we forget to simply be present, to enjoy the moment. And
Wow.
that willingness to play, to lighten up a bit, I think it all ties back into that idea of going with the flow, of being open to where life takes us.
So, to kind of sum it up, what I'm hearing from your incredible story is this. Saying yes to spontaneity can lead to amazing experiences. Looking at things differently helps us find the good even when things are tough, and letting go, even just a little, well, that often unlocks a deeper sense of happiness. Now, before we wrap up, I have one last thought for you to ponder. Think back to a time when you stepped outside your comfort zone, a time when you truly embraced the unexpected. What did you learn from that experience? What did it teach you about yourself? As always, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. It's been a pleasure exploring this with you. Until next time, keep those stories coming and stay curious.